When I was a boy, I served the Stations of the Cross for our good pastor, Father Donald Peters, in Worthington, Iowa. And this was a Friday in Lent, and afterwards my mother said to me, "Have you ever thought of being a priest?" To which I responded, "No way." But I think mothers can sometimes see things their little boys cannot. And so it was years later when I was in Dubuque, Iowa. I moved to this town. I found a television network I'd never heard of before, the Eternal Word Television Network. And here was this nun, Mother Angelica, teaching on the spiritual life and many other good programs that they had. And I just enjoyed watching and learning about my Catholic faith in a deeper way. Well, one program, Mother Angelica was having her live show and she was dropping on and off the air. And she came back on and she said, "As you can tell, we need an engineer." Well, that was my trade because I worked for General Electric Medical Systems as an engineer. And so I eventually ended up in Birmingham, Alabama, January of 1985, working for Mother Angelica and the Eternal Word Television Network. And it was a wonderful thing to see this apostolate grow and develop over these 20 years now, and the communities and other things that have grown and developed. Well, it was in 1987 that Mother Angelica began a men's community. She announced that she was beginning this to help these media apostolates because she understood the nuns were to be involved in the prayer support for these apostolates. Their life was one of contemplation and adoration and prayer. And so this men's community was to support these media apostolates the Lord had given to her and to be a spiritual foundation for that. Well, the Lord gave me many confirming signs as I was praying that I might know and do His will, have the courage to do it. He gave me many confirming signs. This was what He was asking me to do and to be a part of. And so we began in 1987. I continued working as an engineering brother for a couple of years and then went to seminary and was blessed to spend a couple of years in Rome and to meet the Pope when I was there, as well as Mother Teresa of Calcutta. And I was ordained in 1993. So it's been a real adventure when the Lord calls you. The Holy Father said one time to young people, he said of his own vocation, he said, "There's always a mystery about a vocation, a religious vocation, a vocation to the priesthood." But he knew that God was unmistakably calling him to be a priest. And so I guess that's the same for me. There's always kind of a mystery about this call, this vocation. God's calling you, and yet you know undeniably in your heart that God is calling you to follow Him in a special way. The most important thing in discerning your own vocation in life and what is your vocation in life is prayer, of course, because it's God who calls and it's God who reveals what His plan is for our life, because each of us has been created for a purpose and a mission. And as we pray, and I think that's what I came to know as I moved to Birmingham, I started to go to daily Mass, and then later I started to go to adoration, and then someone introduced me to the divine office, and I began to pray that. And so through all of these things, it began to become clear to me that God was calling me to a vocation. For information on the priesthood or religious life, log on to www.ewtn.com/religiouslife.